folks? Welcome back to another episode of Bold Sports. This is actually our third annual live Super Bowl podcast here at Sorgatron Media Studios in Beachview neighborhood of Pittsburgh. Matt, how are you doing over here today?
I'm all right.
Super Bowl Sunday, you ready for it?
No.
No?
No.
No? Did you get the chance to watch any games earlier this week?
No.
No? Working?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pens were back Friday night. Pens had a nice little overtime win there. Crosby with the overtime winning goal, which was awesome. Also this weekend is the Waste Management Phoenix Open, which I keep my eye on. I love that course. The 16th hole was amazing. We'll probably watch a little bit of that later before the Super Bowl kicks off. And then, of course, college basketball. Full swing college basketball. We have that going on. All conference play right now. It's awesome. Kentucky last night held off Auburn. It was a nice little game to watch there. Of course, we are here to talk about the Super Bowl itself. We have the Kansas City Chiefs as well as the San Francisco 49ers playing tonight, 6:30 in Miami. So who you liking?
I'm pulling for the Chiefs.
I think everybody is.
I don't think it's as bad to have San Francisco win 6 Super Bowls, because the Patriots already did that. And
it was Tom Brady by himself that won 6.
Yeah.
If the Niners would do it, they'd have 3 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's like 3 different eras. So, we're running out of time to, compare the Steelers' greatness of the 70s to like the current situation. So they're going to need to win another Super Bowl regardless.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to have to happen.
So we're not going to be able to just sit back and like hope forever that nobody ever wins a 7th. Okay. That being said, like Andy Reid, he's been there a lot. He's been around a long time. Everybody seems to know about him. Like even people who don't follow football are like, "Oh, Andy Reid, I've heard of him." And the knock on him is that he, never wins the big one. So
it is because he has like 12 division championships between the Eagles and the Chiefs. He has a Super Bowl appearance in 2004 with the Eagles. That was against the Patriots. That Super Bowl was in Jacksonville, and of course we know the outcome of that one.
Yeah.
That should have been. That was the first shot we had for an all PA Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It would have been Steelers Eagles if that would have happened, but of course that was the one of the big years of the Cheatriots. To go on with that.
Would you really want to be in a Super Bowl with the Eagles? Could you really handle 2 weeks of Philly fans?
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. It was hard enough handling. I actually had some flyers come into the restaurant the other day for lunch before the game, and it took me so much not to just Visine the shit out of their
You can't do
drink.
That. That's really
I can't. I know. I know I can't. I know. I would never do that. It's a joke. I would never actually do that.
Okay. Well, I'm not.
I never have
at your
done
house.
You're safe at the house, man. It's cool. We're good.
Okay.
No worries.
Next time you hand me a shot glass with something in it and I ask you what it is and you're like vague, like
here, drink this, Matt. What is it? Whiskey. Okay.
It's Visine bourbon.
Visine bourbon all the way. We got that going on. In the meantime, folks, not only do we like to talk about sports and whatnot, but we also like to talk about some people that have a lot of good things going on here locally. Last year on the podcast, we had the guys from Fury Brewing. The first year we had Gene from Penn Brewing. So this year we decided to step off the brewery side of it. It still involves beer, but we have across from us, we have Dennis from First Sip Brew Box, and he's going to talk to us about that. Of course, we're drinking beer because it's podcast and it's Sunday Fun Day, right? And then we also, next to Dennis, we have Jamal, and I am not going to try to butcher your last name, my man.
That's okay. That's okay. Very rarely does anybody get it completely right.
And Jamal, you're doing a lot of hot sauces, wing sauces, rubs, barbecue sauces.
Correct. I do many different unique. I usually call it marvelously peculiar. We got sauces and dry rubs. I'm dabbling on getting the catering side started. Really just trying to look for a vision on how to like consolidate everything and get it moving in one direction. But just trying to make everything taste delicious for you.
And that's really all we need. I mean, if you know how to cook a proper piece of pork or chicken or steak and you're using the dry rubs, you're using it as an enhancement, to your meal that you're making. You're not really, using that as a solid piece of this is what I'm having and you're going to taste all this flavor, which is good. You want all that flavor. But you also got to know how to cook the meat you're doing it with.
This is true. Patience is a true virtue, as I always say. That's the number one thing. You just got to be patient. It's a process, but it's a fun group of people. When you get into the Facebook groups and everything, it's just people are just excited to show you a cut of meat, and I think that's just wonderful. You know, you just look and people are just learning how to do stuff. People are learning how to dry age, which is something I want to get into a little bit later.
I've been watching a bunch of videos on the dry aging, and I started looking at some of the price points on stuff, and I'm like, it's a little expensive, but it's so going to be well worth it in the end.
Oh, yeah. Anything dry aged is going to be much more expensive because it's not an easy... You have to keep everything specifically, like the humidity has to be the same thing. The temperature's got to be constant. So you might have to have like separate equipment for that. You're not going to put that in your regular fridge. But yeah, dry aged brisket is definitely something I want to do and probably even sell when I like cater, like weddings, when you get up to like between 65 and 100 a head. For the caterer to offer.
You're there.
You want to offer them like top end stuff, and with like barbecue, I mean, it's kind of at the opposite end of the spectrum. Barbecue is like the cheap option, for like a wedding thing. So it's like,
So as a bartender and server myself, I've actually worked a lot of weddings, and my lovely girlfriend and I, Amanda, bartended a few weddings, and we did one out in Madison. At the Madison Barn out in PA, and they actually had a barbecue wedding. They had what's the one over on Banksville? Pittsburgh Barbecue?
Banksville. Jeez.
Yeah, I think it's Pittsburgh Barbecue. It's over on Banksville Road behind the hotel over there.
The one with Tunch in the commercial.
Yeah, the one with Tunch in the commercial.
I believe that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have scouting reports on everybody.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
They catered it, and it was awesome. It was really cool. So I look forward to barbecue catering parties and stuff like that.
Yeah. I did. I actually did. Carnegie Library was my biggest event I ever did. It was 400 people. It was very eye opening on how new to the process I am. There's a lot of stuff I still got to learn. It went over well, despite all my searching of trying to find somebody who to say one bad thing about the food. Because that's kind of the neurotic person I am. Everybody loved it.
Well, it just shows you're passionate about what you do.
Yeah, I want to, because I want to get better. I don't want to be one of those people that just, like I have arrived and this is like the apex of what I can do. I'm always trying to get better. I mean, Dennis, excuse me, Dennis, right over here. Yes, he actually helped me pare down the much more ambitious list. Like if you were to see the list I served, like I did meatloaf cupcakes, we did a couple other cornbread like cupcakes, we did biscuit cupcakes just for VIP people, and then we did like sliders and stuff like that, and then I did like it was like vegan like cookies and stuff, and like I did the pulled pork, the chicken, I did chicken skewers and stuff like that, I did peach skewers. You would think like that's the most ambitious, but no, Dennis helped me actually.
It was getting silly.
Oh, it was
getting silly.
I was like, bro, this is your first big gig. Do not.
Oh,
start
he
off the
nixed
gate with
a
things
lot
that
of
you've
stuff.
Never made before. Like,
To take what you do and do it well. A smaller menu with something done really well is better than going in and having 17 different options and 7 of them not being that good.
I mean, some of them I was excited about. He invested in gravy fountains. I was like, this is great.
Yeah. Oh, Dennis didn't nix the gravy fountain. The client did.
Selfishly, I didn't.
They weren't sure how everything was going to go. I should have pushed harder to put it in the VIP because I think you've had my sausage gravy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a good thing, and it was nice. It was going to work. Like I bought 2 gravy fountains real cheap, and yeah, the gravy fountains would have worked out. Like that's one of those things that if they hire me next year, I'm going to insist.
A little background. So Jamal is actually one of my neighbors, which we started our entrepreneurial journey similar to each other. I would always, since he moved in, I would always see him walking outside with his headphones on. I'm like, yes. Another black guy in the community. I love this.
Wait. Did you just channel your inner Dave Bracey right there?
Yes. Him, Ed, Mike, I just felt them calling to me. So that was super cool. And we just kind of pushed each other over the years. And since, I started first at Brew Box, and we feature folks that make things out of beer and breweries and small businesses all over the country, I was like, Jam, which is a nickname, I don't know. We're putting it
That's
out
my
there in the
Pittsburgh
cosmos.
nickname.
Jam.
Well, because you're doing what Uncle Jammy's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jammy's my state college nickname. That's I moved here almost Pennsylvania 20 years ago. Jammy's kind of my state college nickname. For some reason, Pittsburgh did Jam. So
It just rolls off the tongue.
yeah. So I got some ideas for how we're gonna use Jam, but since more people at the time knew me as Jammy, I did the Uncle Jammies because it works a little bit better. But I do have, not to say that I'm gonna become this mogul or anything, but you gotta
never know, my friend.
You gotta plan, and there's gonna be some stuff for Jams.
But what I was saying was, so the first project that we worked on, I was like, oh, crap. So it was one of our first breweries that we worked with, which was Stone Brewing.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to make a sauce out of their beer. And I was like, hey, man, can you do this? He's like, I've never done it before, but absolutely I can make a sauce out of beer. He's like, how much time do I have? What was it, 96 hours?
All right. No, this is where Dennis gets a little off the bat. All right.
My memory's terrible.
Yeah, his memory's terrible. It was actually, all right. It was
the Southern Tier one?
Southern Tier.
Oh, yeah, and then the Arrogance.
This
and Uses
is
Me
the
was
first
second
collaboration, yeah. Right here.
one. The
So,
Hooray for
all right.
IPA.
Yeah, Hooray for IPA. Dennis, just down to when we first met, Dennis just has a way of just coming and meeting me near the mailboxes. That's where we first met because I forgot my headphones because they're my shields.
I was like, this is my end.
Well, as a guy that spends a lot of time downtown, I put my headphones in and walk, and people try to mouth at me stuff, and I just keep on going. It's I got my headphones in. Don't bug me.
Yeah.
This is true, but it's terrible. It's terrible for a business owner if you're trying to be personable.
It is.
I probably wouldn't have met Dennis or been in friends because I use them as shields. Anyway, getting back to this, it's one of those days where I'm getting out of my car, trying to get back into my house, and Dennis is small talk, and then, oh, by the way, I got some great news because he always does it like that. Southern Tier, blah blah blah. Hey, you've made recipes before. Can you make a product with this? And me, I'm always game. I'm always game to make something up. But I have longer timetables. I'm talking
when do I need this? 3 days.
It was 8 days.
Oh, 8. Okay.
8. I usually want to do 14 iterations because I have that kind of OCD. Anyway, I'm just but the problem with me is I never can say no. So I was
well, we're learning that.
yeah, okay. So then I go back. I haven't thought of anything. I have one off concept. I get sick. And for me, I don't eat healthy. They should have a plaque for me on Taco Bell, wall.
I'm kind
Or
of
at
an
least a wanted
unhealthy
poster.
I'm kind of an unhealthy eater myself.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard.
if you said, Steve, you want to go home and cook dinner and spend an hour cooking dinner, do you want to stop at Wendy's? I'll tell you right now, there's a triple baconator with my name on it.
Oh, man. And those $5 biggie bags. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. My diet is, my shame is I've stopped at all 3 big restaurants on one meal trip. So
well, Matt, you weren't involved in this, but we have some friends that we tried to make the best dollar value meal. So we hit McDonald's for the fries, Wendy's for the junior bacon cheeseburgers, Arby's was for additional curly fries.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say we
Liquid cup
Arby's
of
without
cheddar.
curly
Yeah.
fries.
Yeah, Arby's, and then also Arby's milkshakes are pretty dope, by the way.
They are very good.
Yeah.
They're very good.
But-
and their machine's always working.
Yes, their
Yeah.
machine's always working.
Boom.
Exactly.
boom.
You ever go to McDonald's and you notice how the McFlurry machine always looks broken, but it's not actually broken?
It's
That's just
camouflage.
that's just what one looks like.
So we need to talk. We need to talk to somebody and get a stout milkshake because we're sitting here. We started off this morning with stouts, and
I mean, like a Guinness beer float.
Yeah, like a Guinness beer float. Guinness ice cream is really good. I've made that before.
We've got. I got us off track. Oh
right.
my god, I love it. I love it.
But we're sitting here this morning. The first beer you opened up was the raspberry
Duvet from Couch Brewery.
Raspberry Duvet from Couch Brewing, which was delicious. It was nice and raspberry, great flavor, good stout notes to it, and the berry wasn't overpowering.
Right, velvety mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It was an easy drink.
And then I poured us the 2019 Bourbon Barrel Aged Worldwide Stout because everyone needs to start off with an 18% beer for breakfast.
Especially if you miss breakfast.
Especially if you miss breakfast in your case.
Yeah.
And so forth.
Dude, in the old days, this is what they used to give children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe not quite this strong, but
Right, yeah.
That
I mean,
Pointer
you know.
Porter's good. Little peppery.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, over here you have First Sip Brew Box going on.
Yes.
Now, you don't actually deal in beer per se.
No.
You deal in beer goodies.
Absolutely. And the kind of the long story long behind that, we initially, so we were home brewers, my wife and I, and we wanted
She is floating around here taking
Yep, she
pictures.
is. Doing photos, video. Got to do it for the gram. So we wanted to open up a brewery, and then we realized like the huge barrier to entry. You know, $250,000, $500,000. That's if you're getting used equipment, and we were like, that's insane. We can't afford to do this. And this was around 2014, 2015. And even then, breweries were popping up left and right. Then we pivoted. We're like, oh, this is legal now to send beer in the mail. We can figure this out. And then the LCB, their legal counsel, took 6 months before they actually answer a question. They're like, Dennis, look, you're the first one that wants to do this. To be safe, how about you buy a beer distributor or a restaurant? We'll attach a permit to it. And then you could ship out of there. I'm like, great, $500,000 again and a higher likelihood to fail.
Right, yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
so it got to a point where we felt like to penetrate this industry and do what we want to do, there's such huge barriers to entry, but to not give up, we would have to start something new that's never been done before. And I'm so happy we ran into all those roadblocks because that's what we ended up doing. So we pivoted one last time to where we partner with a saturated market, all the breweries, unique beer fests out there, things like that. And we come up with either branded merchandise that they have, or we'll collaborate on different t-shirts, designs, things like that. But then we do something else no one else in North America is doing. We connect the small businesses like Jamal to breweries to create things out of the beer, just showcasing that craft beer is more than beer. It's about the people behind the scenes. And that's kind of what we capture in each and every brew box. So right now we have had subscribers in 5 different countries, over 200 cities, and 48 states. We're missing the Dakotas, and I don't even know if they have internet. So I don't know if I should count that.
Well, I mean, it is the Dakotas, so I mean, you never know.
Oh, you're gonna get a negative comment.
Yeah,
Well,
somebody's.
I want to get I will send them a free brew box if they order one.
I mean, they keep
so
the
we can get
nukes in
that.
North Dakota. I'm sure they got some kind of dial-up at least.
Yeah, at least 56K modem.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much us. FirstSipBrewBox.com. Check us out. We're always doing unique, cool stuff in beer.
That's awesome because there's a lot of. I have a beer soap at home. That there's a lady. She's a local artist. She goes to Lincoln Avenue Brewery.
Oh, yeah.
And gets the beer from Grant and goes ahead and makes the soap. I can't remember her name right now, but she would go ahead and she sells at the local farmers markets and everything else. And she goes to all the different pop-up markets and shows. And it's not that it's crazy expensive either. It's more expensive than going to the store and buying a bar of Dove
Or Irish Spring.
or
which
Irish
is
Spring,
pretty
right?
much free.
Right. But it's a better, healthier soap for you.
Yep.
Everything else. Now there are those people out there that have allergies to different soaps and stuff. My mother's one of those. I know she can only use certain things. But anyway, so you have to watch out for that aspect of it.
Right.
And find out. But also, when you're talking to the person that made it, they know exactly what ingredients went into that soap. Like
And
Jamal,
could
you know
typically
exactly what
pronounce all of
ingredients
them.
go into your rubs and into your sauces.
Yeah.
For anybody that has allergies, and I know you probably have to have everything printed on that label via the FDA and everything else like that. But when you're at one of the markets, the farmers markets or anything else like that, and somebody's like, well, I'm allergic to soy. You're like, well, take this one out, but this one's good. And stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, like a lot of my stuff is soy free, but you get one of those things where it's like unexpected. Like I said, a brain fart. Like I know this stuff's not in there, but it's like, wait, they actually, like make barbecue sauce with that in there. Where are you from? So I do give that look sometimes, but yeah, I do know, what everything's in there. And there's a lot of people. It's different. Like some people can't have nightshades, which are peppers, tomatoes, that kind of stuff, And I'm always trying to accommodate, and I'm like, oh, well, come see me in like 5 years when I have like this certain recipe out. Because I have a lot of concepts. I have a backlog of concepts.
So many.
Concepts on concepts on concepts.
Right. I mean, and what's funny, Amanda's sitting there last night, and she's like, "Are you ready for the podcast tomorrow morning?" I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "Well, I didn't see you open a computer all day, send any notes, nothing like that." I'm like, "It's all in my head." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes." Yeah. So this morning, she's like, "Now I have to type up this little excerpt." And she goes, "You should have did this yesterday." I'm like, "It's all in my head." I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's in your head, whether it goes down to paper or computer and stuff like that. I get it. I mean, we don't want to know what's in your head, Matt. That's a scary place.
I don't write anything down. It's OPSEC. I mean, you never know who's going to be going through your notes.
Well, like 2035, they'll be able to read your thoughts anyway.
That's when I'm out. Yeah. I've already explained it to my loved ones. Like when
you got your bug out bag
when
ready.
Mind reading becomes a thing. Like
when you're walking down the street,
is there a radius? If there's no radius, then I'm just gonna walk off a pier into the ocean, and that's it.
Or you could just be Amish. I think they're gonna leave the Amish alone. You could just be. You could just be New Age Amish.
Then I'll have all the Amish people mad at me. Like, I can't believe you think my clothes are plain. It's just like, well,
you could just be. You don't have to be.
They're gonna tie you up for like wearing like a
Stop
lapel.
judging me for my squeaky buggy wheel. I didn't say anything.
We don't have oil. We can't grease that wheel.
Yeah, if you stick the stick in the ground and it comes out, then you can have some. But otherwise, no, there's no fracking.
So. You go ahead, Dennis, and you deal with a lot of breweries. You have actually your own podcast as well.
Yes.
It's the Daily Sip.
You got
and
that right.
It's on the YouTube.
Yep, we're on YouTube. Trying to soon enough. We're gonna do an audio only version for folks on Podbeam and different networks like that as well.
That's awesome. So I've watched a couple of them. You hooked up with our friend Aaron Hayduke, who runs Pittsburgh Craft Beer Society as well as Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends, and hung out with him. And just bringing craft beer to people's knowledge. So you physically can't send people beer.
Correct.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
But you have a relationship and a rapport with several different breweries, and you've brought some of those with you today. Is there anybody you want to give a particular shout out to?
Yeah, absolutely. So we already talked about Couch Brewery. They're another veteran-owned brewery. We did a veteran collaboration with them and Burgers Brewing. Phenomenal guys out there at Couch. Larimer, which is like East Liberty, part of Pittsburgh.
That's over by East End Brewing.
Yes, I think maybe 5 minutes, definitely less than 10 minutes away from each other for sure. Great guys, really comfortable atmosphere in there. And also Intergroove is near and dear to my heart as well. They're in Verona, Pennsylvania. They do, oh my goodness.
Are they on Allegheny River Boulevard, or are they up on Sandy Creek or whatever?
Sammy? I'm terrible with maps and colors. Everything else I'm pretty okay at.
They're near the Tony the Tiger statue.
Okay, so they're on Allegheny River Boulevard.
Yes.
On a side street.
On a side, off Allegheny River Boulevard. No worries. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pittsburgh directions. Go down Allegheny River Boulevard and turn right at the fourth pole. And,
we love giving directions where things used to be. Yeah, where that old Kogo's used to be. You're like,
by
no,
the
I
little
don't
Hubby
know
factory.
where that used to be.
Go to where Zares was, and then turn right.
I'll do it.
And so forth.
Quarter mile past the Giant Eagles.
We want to thank Intergroup because you said Intergroup said, "Hey, take this to the podcast tomorrow and enjoy it," and so forth.
Really good folks down there.
Really good folks. Is that a stout? Or?
Oh, you know it. It is their Bending Spoons, which is, I want to say, their coffee stout that they actually did.
Awesome.
He stays with the coffee set.
What's the temperature on that? Is that one that can sit for a minute?
Oh, it can. It can warm up. It can warm up a little bit.
Because let me feel this one back here. Yeah, we're gonna open it. Yep.
Yeah.
Where's your bottle opener?
In my pocket.
In your pocket. See, I left my bottle opener in the car. So basically, Dennis, you and I kind of went to our cellars today and said, "Hey, let's just bring some of our own beer." So the first one I brought was the Dogfish Head bourbon barrel aged worldwide stout, which we enjoyed. And that was only a 12-ounce bottle, so I think we only got a couple ounces of that. Gentlemen back there, friends, I have another bottle in the car for later. Don't panic.
Yes.
If anybody's worried that they're not going to have an opportunity to get drunk on Super Bowl Sunday, these things usually have a way of working out.
Yes.
I brought out of my little cellar here. I brought out from Epic Brewing the Big Bad Baptista 2018 rare release.
Oh, that sounds like a wrestler.
Well, I mean, we are in Sorgatron Media Studio
Yeah.
where wrestling is prevalent. So, Matt, if you want to pour yourself a little bit of that, you got it.
I still got a little bit.
Okay, well, pass that over to Jamal.
Yeah, send it around.
Send it over to Jamal and Dennis. They can get a little sip of that. And whatever you guys don't take out of that, pass it to the guys in the
Absolutely.
back.
We just passed a floater back there too.
Oh, passing
to
a floater.
keep everyone's palate nice and wet,
Keep everyone lubricated.
which is another 1963 porn film.
Yes.
Wet
Oh,
palate.
my. Title of
very
your
nice.
sex tape. I want to give a shout out to Recon because I did a collaboration with them. Speaking of beer and everything else like that, Recon and Butler. Because we did for Fresh Fest. I went all out.
Fresh Fest is dope, by the way.
Yeah.
Super
and
dope.
Yeah.
So let's give them a shout out real quick. Dave
Yeah.
Racy,
Fresh
Ed Bailey.
Fest.
Fresh Fest 2020 is going to be in Allentown. Like
Yeah,
they're gonna have
block party
So they're
style.
taking. Well, it was already considered a block party. What was Aller 26? Now it's literally gonna be a block party. Up in Allentown. They teamed up with RE360, and they teamed up with the guys from Sorg. What's the plate? Work Hard. Thank you. They teamed up with the guys from Work Hard, and they got with the City Planning Commission and everybody else, and they embraced it. And they're gonna have. Of course, a ticketed area where all the beers and stuff are going to be. And they're going to have a free area with free stages for music and everything. I think this is taking up like 6 blocks. They're going to have indoor, outdoor indoor and outdoor venues. I did read something Day wrote for who he writes for. I just read it yesterday.
Pittsburgh Current.
Pittsburgh Current.
Yeah.
So Day writes for them. And they were talking about also when Kevin Sousa's taking over the club up there. So they're going to have something there. He said they toured everything in Allentown, rooftops, streets, sidewalks, back alleys, everything. I know they were also working on something with the Port Authority and the city to maybe have the trolley run up through Allentown that day.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Don't hold me to it. That's what I heard.
Well, they have some time to figure that
They
out.
have some time to figure it out. But Fresh Fest is amazing. Amanda, that's her like one day a year that she goes to Fresh Fest and hits everything there, drinks, tastes everything from Fresh Fest. And I did not get to attend last year because I was working till 2 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
But
I feel like you're always working.
I try to. The more I work, the less trouble I get into.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That is a
so,
good point.
I mean, having just Sundays off is cool. Matt, you're off Friday and Sunday. Yeah. So don't you love having that midweek day off, though? Like it's not midweek; it's Friday. It's still, but everybody.
I love having Friday off because I know everybody who's working on a Friday is like 10 times as pissed about it as they would be on like a Thursday.
Right.
Right.
So while you're all sitting there staring at the walls, or maybe you're running up and down stairs carrying cases of beer, I'm out like getting my errands done.
Yeah, and that's me on like a Sunday, Monday.
But I miss all the fun Saturday stuff, so it's a trade-off.
Yeah, I miss all the fun Saturday stuff too, and I get all the fun stuff Sunday and Monday. And when I love those 2 days off, they're great. Now, you guys, you're working solely for yourself right
100%.
now. Correct.
100%.
So
the wife is the only reason why we have health insurance. She's still working her full-time
Congratulations to the wife. That's awesome. And you're doing full-time with First Six
Absolutely.
Bucks and making your dream come true, making money. And if you need a day off, you take a day off. You just don't make any money that day.
That's true. But the difference is, like, when you're working for yourself, you're okay with not taking a day off. I mean, sometimes it happens, and sometimes you do need the reset. Just for example, the other day, me and Jamal met up. I was like, holy hell. I literally just worked 21 hours straight. I'm about to fall over. But, it's so rewarding because if you're not working, you're not making money.
Yeah, but just to add on, you got to watch out, though, because if you don't add in the other benefits that you miss from working, you'll be like me. I I didn't realize I hadn't been home since back last, in July. I hadn't been home since I'd quit the casino because I didn't have any PTO. That's the thing you forget as a business owner, to give yourself the days off, because you're trying to break through. Like, I'm trying to break through. I'm trying to become, I'm trying to go from local to regional, and from regional to national as far as selling the sauces and dry rubs. So it's like every day.
It's a grind. It's a goal. I mean, Amanda is.
Oh, that's so good.
Bold Pittsburgh is Amanda's brainchild and baby, and I help her with it. I do not help her as much as I should. I get to do a cool sports podcast. It's awesome. I do a lot of the work for that, but the other stuff is hers. I get to benefit off a lot of free dinners and other cool stuff, which is awesome. But the brainchild of that is all through her, and her and I both have the struggle of neither one of us can quit our jobs and focus solely on this. And I'm glad that you got to the position, and you also got to the position.
Just to be clear, it's not that we were financially sound to do that.
Yeah. I'm not saying you're financially sound. whatsoever.
Duquesne Light comes knocking. I'm like, hey, I ain't home right now. And they're like, we see you, see me.
Yeah. Trust me, I had that same issue with Comcast last week. Yeah. But here nor there. I'm glad you guys are able to do it and make it happen. And you said you used to work at the casino, so that means I know you like to gamble, my man. So,
that's an unfair assumption that is absolutely true.
It's 100% accurate.
Well, he had to quit the casino because he can't gamble in the state of Pennsylvania if he works for the casino.
They changed that.
Oh, they changed the law?
They
changed the rule?
You just can't gamble at the place you work at.
Yeah.
But I guess causation and correlation were a little bit different. Right. Yes, I am a degenerate gambler, but I do have my stops. Yes.
All right. So speaking of degenerate gambling, because I like to dabble in that too. I'm a server and bartender. Okay. I mean, it's what we do. And hey. Bye.
Oh, bye, Sammy.
Bye, Sam.
She tried to sneak out.
I know.
We blew her spot up.
Now the Dennis and Jamal mischief can start.
You don't want to tell people watching at home that we're losing live audience members.
I
know, right?
Like, well, I don't
this
have
podcast was filmed in front of a live
She's
audience.
A very Christian woman. Jamal yelled out the degenerate gambler. She's like, I have to go.
Yeah, right. I gotta go.
Which is not true.
She's like, I'm double parked on Broadway at Beachview. I mean,
Which that's not even. I mean, it was questionable.
She
parked in the solid gray area.
It was a solid gray area.
Can we stop calling it degenerate gambling? Like, gambling's legal.
Gambling is legal.
We should stop stigmatizing it.
Well,
Like, you wouldn't say
is
degenerate
drinking.
alcoholic. I mean...
Oh, no, I call myself a degenerate all the time, and I only hang out with fellow degenerates.
I mean, degeneration is just kind of the trend.
Yeah.
I'm just riding the wave, man.
It works. I like it. But no, so speaking of gambling, it is Super Bowl day. And
and they're about to come haul you off for saying that. It's the big game.
It's the big game.
No, that's
the large athletic contest.
That is bullshit because they didn't start suing people until like 5 years ago, but we've been calling it the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The whole time. You can't,
Since we were born.
Can't take it out of the vernacular.
I mean,
I agree.
You can, when you make enough money, anything is now possible.
No, that's bullcrap. You can't allow people to say it and then, all right, we're taking it back. No, it's in the lexicon.
Oh, I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that's how the world works.
I mean, the Daytona 500 is the Super Bowl of NASCAR.
Super Bowl of motorsports.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's become part of the lexicon, so you can't sue people.
So the
you
500.
can always pay the NFL for the rights, Lays did
my
that
tax money.
Listen, like Terry
we'll pay
Bradshaw
them in dry
and
rubs and brew boxes. I hope they accept
the
it.
Daytona 500 is always a sore spot for me because my birthday falls on the Daytona 500 or the weekend of or the weekend before.
Man.
And yet in 41 years, nobody's ever taken me to the Daytona 500.
That's how I feel about Coachella, bro.
Are you dropping hints that somebody should take
I've
you?
been dropping hints for 7 years currently.
Somebody should take
the young
you?
lady.
Oh, my God.
But yeah.
Take me to Florida. Come on. Yeah.
Right. But no, so we do have Super Bowl to talk about here. Kansas City Chiefs. We have the San Francisco 49ers. Both have prolific offenses, and San Francisco has a better defense than Kansas City does. Now, back to the nice gambling bit. It's almost a pick'em. Jamal, you and I were talking about this. Yeah. It might as well be a pick'em.
It's a pick'em.
Kansas City is a 1.5 point favorite. The over/under is 54.5. It started at 52. Everybody was taking the over. They bumped the over-under up so they can get more draw on the under, which hasn't happened.
Right.
And then also the money line's minus 110 for both. So it's a pick 'em.
They're lying. They just want – okay. Kansas City's the sexy pick because
This is where he
Mahomes.
excels.
Right.
He's so happy right now. We got a little.
Yeah.
Not only does he have great barbecue sauces and rubs,
Dude.
but
If
my
we were
man
talking
is-
about Quidditch, it'd be this guy over here. But
I ain't no muggle.
yeah, he gets mad at me because I haven't read any Harry Potter. But
No, not the red. You haven't watched any either.
I haven't read or watched any. So
oh, I'm sorry. Now I thought
No, but that's more the wife. I'm more like you had to have seen Lord of the Rings at some point.
I fell asleep in the second movie and I didn't
None?
watch the third. Yeah,
right, but go on.
I'm
I don't wanna
sci-fi.
digress.
Okay, when they slam science fiction and fantasy together, I'm sci-fi completely. Star Trek, Star Wars is my mistress. Star Trek is my wife, but the side chick is Star Wars, and then Stargate.
the side chick is Star Wars.
Yeah, the side chick is Star Wars.
And all my buddies sitting there in the back that come every year, and I want to thank them every year for coming to this podcast. Are back there probably cracking up right now because you said Star Wars is your side chick, and they're all Star Wars guys.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you
I
know.
sneak out on Star Trek and I watch Star Wars.
They're like, oh, we have a Trekkie in the room.
Yeah. Oh,
They're like,
there's no battle. There's no battle.
Stop emailing my fantasy franchise.
Yeah.
Like we now know Dennis is your only friend.
Oh, Star Trek's
Yeah.
No,
good.
it's good. It is.
Jerry likes Star Trek. All right.
Oh my God. That's. Oh.
Yo, Farscape.
Oh
God.
Jesus. No.
Sharknado.
Wait. Battlestar.
Beats Bears Battlestar Galactica.
Somebody just yelled out Battlestar Galactica. Okay. Battlestar Galactica. I mean, we're gonna get back to the sports, but
Here, I'm gonna take a break right now.
No, yeah.
I'll be back, and we'll talk when you guys are ready to talk sports.
Yeah.
We'll do that. I'm gonna take a break.
Did we
all
just
Yeah.
move into AwesomeCast territory? What show?
Yeah.
What show am I doing right now?
right?
No.
Sorg,
I don't know
I'm not
what's
sure
happening.
what show are
We're
you
going with it. We're going off script. All right. Somebody
There's
said
no
Battlestar Galactica. I loved it. I really loved it. It's one of those things like I would complain about a show with
Is there any more open beer over
all
there,
the
Jerry?
inconsistencies that we have with Battlestar Galactica, but I love the show because it was so gritty. The frequent use of frack as a curse word was awesome, but it was just Edward James Olmos was just so say we all. That's that's in my vernacular right now.
Dennis, whatever you want to
Yeah.
open.
I mean, when I actually have employees, I'm going to probably do that at a meeting, just so say we all. And it's probably going to be about the sexual harassment policy and it'd be completely inappropriate. But I'm still going to probably pump in so say we all. So Battlestar Galactica's up there. I still give a shout out to Stargate. But Star Trek is my jam for sure. Just because it's
all right.
it's just a little bit more technical. I just like Gene Roddenberry's vision. where
Uncle
we're
Jammy,
just-
can you pass this over to those guys?
Absolutely.
That
pass
is
the
an
beer.
Abjuration
Yeah.
Oreo Ale.
Abjuration Brewing, which is in McKees Rocks.
I don't know what's going on. I got more beer, so I like it.
He's like, I got more
yeah.
beer. I'm good.
I got.
I'm going to conduct the interview now. What did you think of the new card series?
Okay, all right. We're doing this. We're
hey.
doing this.
Jerry.
We're doing this.
Jerry, we'll talk about that later, Jerry.
Spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
right.
I don't. How do I talk about it without spoilers? All right, I just got to talk about my emotions. Yeah, all right. I'm interested to see episode 3. I'm not a.
Probably just drink out of the can.
I'm more of a fan of the episodic nature. I don't like the serialized nature, I guess, because it's basically just a 10 episode. I think it's 10 episode story arc. So it's weird. I like that he's back.
Well, let's just say that every year the NFL has a 16-week episode. Okay.
Yes. To get back, yes.
And then they have
actually good.
bonus
I
episodes.
know, and guess what? The season finale is tonight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The season
Oh my
finale
God.
is tonight. They had 3 weeks of bonus episodes, and now we have the season finale in the
A
final
little
week.
filler.
A little filler.
Yeah, but there's
know.
no villain. You guys all hate the Pats.
Yeah. There is.
There
There's a
is.
villain. It's called
Yeah.
Roger Goodell. But anyway.
Okay, yeah, he's like not like a side villain. I mean, you guys all wanted the real villain, and probably the Pats.
No, we're glad that villain is out.
Yeah.
That way we
the
really.
villain's named Miles.
You're gonna have to
Garrett.
bleep this out. I mean, this is live, so I can't.
So
really
you know.
do
So,
anything.
so you know what. So you know what. Here's
We can't admit I am originally from Connecticut, but I will not admit anything else. I am a Pittsburgh-based business owner. I love Pittsburgh. I love the Pens.
So if you're
I
good
love
at reading
the
between
Pirates.
the lines,
heard.
So you're a Jets fan, is what you're saying?
Ah.
you see how this is the human version of buffering right now.
Right?
he just couldn't compute what you said. He got
So-
angry, sad.
So here's your. I was
Jets
talking.
not
used
from-
to-
I'm
Jets
not from
used
New
to
York.
play in New Haven, so that makes you a Jets fan, right?
No,
they
they're
played like 2
they're
years in the Yale
straight
Bowl.
up Jersey. They're Jersey Shore.
So we
Well,
spent the last
that's
few
the
years.
Giants.
We spent the last few years watching New England Patriots in the goddamn Super Bowl,
That's
and
true.
we've actually had to pay attention as Steelers fans.
And I know some
we had to
people
pay
feel
attention,
tired about that.
We had
yeah.
to pay attention to the game and root against them. This is the first year in a while that I've talked with my buddy Nick over here that we can focus back on Supper Bowl instead of Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl is there, and honestly, we're pulling for the Chiefs. I am anyway.
Right.
And then if the Niners win, okay, shit happens. Okay?
Yeah.
But we're not sitting here angrily rooting for
Right.
the Eagles or angrily rooting
First
for the
of all-
Falcons
first
or
of all-
angrily rooting for
Here's the thing.
Rams.
Pittsburgh, so you messed up the whole mojo of the universe by rooting for the Ravens
That's a pretty
against the
hefty comment,
Niners.
Jamie.
Nobody
You cannot-
rooted. We just
Back to that Super Bowl.
Back to that- we
It
did-
con-
we
it
did have
confused
to-
the hell out of me because I would never cheer whatever
The-
team
Okay,
team I cheer
the
for.
only reason
I'm
was
just
is
saying,
because we
whatever
didn't
team,
want the Niners to get 6 Super Bowls
Yeah,
before
but
the
that's
Steelers.
stupid.
Now
I'd rather
here we
have-
are again 5 years later, and the Niners have a chance to get their 6th Super
Exactly.
Bowl.
So you
but
cheer-
New England already did that shit with Tom
I
Brady
know,
by himself.
I know, but I'm just saying, a division rival is worse than the bad guy of the league. You never want to see the division rival. I would rather have them see, like if it was me and I was a Steelers fan, I would rather them all just get herpes from one of the broke parties that like the Minnesota Vikings got.
Oh man.
I would laugh at them.
Hey, wait. Gronk Beach was yesterday.
Yeah.
Shit went down at Gronk Beach. I know shit happened at Gronk Beach. I saw some videos on the Twitter and whatnot.
Oh wait,
and
wait, Gronk had a party? Of course stuff.
I've
went down.
got some bad
That's
news,
like Gronk
folks.
had a
Someone
huge
give
party.
him a job.
He doesn't need a job. He
No,
is
no.
Gronk.
Trust me. He needs a job.
No.
He's getting too silly out there.
No,
You
no,
saw
no.
him on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Like-
Listen, stop. Everybody stop. Gronk
Okay.
is basically me when I get money because it's out of control.
Okay.
Sammy is going to
All right,
bar
all right,
me
all right.
from hanging out with
All right,
you.
all right. Here's
'Cause
one thing.
it's-
Here's one thing about Gronk that a lot of people don't know. Dude never spent a game check. All his game checks
Yeah.
went to his bank and his money guys, and he's invested it. The only money Gronk has ever spent is what he's got from his endorsements, which is still a hell of a lot of money.
Right.
But dude never spent a game check, so he's cool. So actually, out of his contract that he made after taxes and his fees and this, that, and the other thing, he still has it all. Plus, he made it work for him,
Right,
and the money is invested. Gronk doesn't really need a job, but he's
meant
been
just to keep him out of trouble, not 'cause he
well,
needs the money.
yeah. I understand to keep him out of trouble.
If I have Gronk level money, I'm going to be like a Dollar General Bond villain. I can tell you that. Like, I might not have enough to make like Moonraker or anything else like that, but I'm going to get into some shenanigans.
But I saw the photos yesterday, and Bill Belichick was there in like this Hawaiian shirt and board shorts.
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
That's not a party,
that
man.
looked like it
guy's-
was photoshopped in, but it was like
Real life.
it was real life.
it's like you're just seeing Emperor Palpatine at like Chuck E. Cheese or something like that, you know?
I mean,
That was for the.
that's for
Spreading
those
the love
folks.
around. You're spreading the
Yeah,
love.
I'm helping you guys out.
But it gets. But Gronk had the party yesterday. It was Gronk Beach. I actually signed up myself, Matt and Amanda, to try to win free tickets for it. It didn't happen.
No.
You
and I
wouldn't
still would have
want
had to
to.
get to Miami. But I mean,
Yeah.
here and there. But it would have been cool to go to because Gronk is a semi-local guy. He spent his senior year of high school at Woody High.
Okay, dude.
Woody Nails, yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, you're always pointing out how private schools recruit,
Oh, well.
and like, what does it say to you that like Gronk is from Buffalo, but he like graduated from Woodland Hills? Like, Buffalo is not in Churchill.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
You can't get good wings anywhere in Churchill. I've tried.
That's true. That is true. But no, he did go to Woody High. The story goes, his pop
The
opened
legend of Gronk, if you will.
his pop opened up a business here, and he went to Woody High because he would have a better shot of getting recruited out of high school to go to college for football than where he was in Buffalo.
Because college recruiters don't like to be like.
Because Woody
in
High is one
Buffalo.
of those high recruiting aspects for the local high schools around here. Woody High is like number one, then number two is like North Allegheny, and it's because the Steelers kids played North Allegheny.
In the end, it kind of worked.
In the end, it kind of worked. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, Woody High this year has 7 guys going D1, and then they have 12 going D2 or lower on football scholarships, which is ridiculous.
And they weren't even that good.
And they weren't even that good this year. You're correct. It's like St. Thomas Aquinas, which is in Dade County, Florida, out of Fort Lauderdale. Pitt actually just signed 2 guys from St. Thomas Aquinas this year as freshmen coming into Pitt. And now St. Thomas Aquinas has 5,227 guys that went D1 out of high school in their lifetime. And then they have over 625 guys made the NFL that went to that high school. That's the high school of likes of, one crazy one that we mentioned on occasion, Mr. Antonio Brown. But he, you got guys coming out of there. My bartender partner that I worked with for years, he went to that high school. He's now the GM over at Burn by Rocky Patel, which is a good spot. Go see Big Mike. Tell him I said what's
Bachelor
up.
Party.
But yeah, but he, those guys, that's a factory. That is a factory high school. Right. Around here, Woodland Hills is a factory high school. North Allegheny is a factory high school. Matt's alma mater is a factory high school.
Why can't you say the name?
Central Catholic.
Thank you.
Central Catholic is a football factory
I mean,
high
you're
school.
gonna send people like running to Wikipedia trying to find my. I don't have one, so you're
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
find
right?
out. Like Central Catholic.
You don't have one yet.
Yet.
Challenge
I mean, anybody
accepted.
can make one.
Yeah,
Just
right?
shut it down. Be like, who that? But I just got to do something infamous, like be the first person to resist mind control.
That's pretty legit, though.
There you go. I mean, that's your goal.
To get on Wikipedia.
No, to resist mind control.
One's
Yeah,
definitely
but
easier than
mind
Failing-
control's gonna be
failing
like
civil.
it's not gonna be mind control. It's gonna be mind reading, and it's gonna be subscription based, and you're just gonna have to let your subscription lapse.
Oh man, can I be like a hologram? Charge like
Maybe, yeah.
$13.90 a month for access to my innermost thoughts.
downloadable thoughts.
Yeah, Matt Plus.
You can live on the internet in perpetuity.
There you go.
Sounds
So
good.
I pulled up this article, and I got to pull it up here, and as soon as it loads, we'll have it. There are a number of Pittsburgh connections in the Super Bowl this year. Of course, we have Emmanuel Sanders, who was drafted by the Steelers, then went to signed as a free agent with Denver, got traded in the middle of this year to San Francisco. So he's over there. We have, let's see.
Please tell me one of the pierogi ladies, like old school pierogi ladies, got hired to work the Super Bowl. That'd be awesome. They flew her in.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
We have Pitt Panthers. We have Kawan Williams and Jared Jones-Smith. They are members of the practice squad for the 49ers, which those guys that make the practice squad, they pretty much get paid $300,000 a year to be the football. Now, whenever the team makes the playoffs, the NFL takes over and pays the players. So these guys are now going to make more in the 2 playoff games and the Super Bowl that the NFL will pay them than they did on their yearly contract.
Wow, I
and at
actually
the end of
didn't know
it, they still get a $40,000 ring if they win. Or if the team decides to give them a NFC Championship ring, they will get that, which will probably be around $25,000.
Do they have to pay tax on the ring?
Yes. They do.
Here
It
you
sucks.
go. Your gift of tax obligation.
But if you get a ring out of like the vending machine at the bowling alley, you don't have to pay shit.
So you have also
That's
you have
true.
Penn State, Robbie Gould, Kevin Givens, and Anthony Zettel are out of Penn State. They are on the Niners. Then you have Pitt running back and legendary Mr. LaShawn McCoy, Shady McCoy, as he's known. He is.
Might be inactive today.
He may or may not be inactive. We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
He's on the KC team, and then you have here you go, Pittsburgh Central Catholic alum and Penn State alum, Stefan Wisniewski is on the Chiefs, as well as Jordan Lucas. For some local guys.
I used to go to the same barber as Stefan Wisniewski.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Kind of Brookline?
That's a fun fact
in
for your
Shadyside.
Wikipedia
Shady
page.
side.
Yeah. Yeah, Stefan Wisniewski used to haul it in from Bridgeville for haircuts.
We have
how good the dude was.
Dorno Daniel from Cannonsburg on the defensive side, as he's a backup linebacker. He went to Cannon Mac, and then he also spent time at Maryland for his college as well. So there's some of your local connections that are playing in the Super Bowl today for both teams. I pulled that article up. Thank you to KDKA on that one. And also, I mean, it's the Super Bowl. We're going to go, after we leave here, to Nick's house and cook some really good food.
You're
and
gonna
have a
cook
good.
some really
I'm
good
going to cook
food.
some really good food. I'm not
He's
sure
like,
what
let's
you
be
guys
clear
are
on
up to. Yeah. And
You're
we're
gonna splash some flour on your face, even though you're not working with flour, just
just
to make it look like you suffered.
Yeah, just because. Just because.
You got it. You got to put on the.
Do you
whole
have a
performance.
novelty apron?
I do not have a novelty.
You need a novelty apron.
I do not have a novelty apron.
I use old
My
t-shirts.
buddy, my buddy has a novelty apron. It's quite hilarious. It's ridiculous. But in the meantime, though, who you guys liking? Chiefs, Niners, 1.5 point favorite on the Chiefs, -110 is the money line, and you're looking at 54.5 on the over under. The money says Chiefs.
Right.
But this is also just a bad game to bet in general, because with it being so close, you're going to have to bet so much money to make money.
Right.
If you wanted to bet it.
I think it's also going to be an incredibly entertaining game.
I believe
some years you're like, oh, this is going to be a blowout. Do I waste my time even getting into this? But this year I think it's definitely going to be a lot of back and forth. What do you think, Jammy?
I think that.
It's so suspenseful.
I know.
You trying to do a Shatner right now? What's going on over here?
Oh, dude, I
know
love
it.
me some Shatner.
You got it. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert: the food he's making, gonna be using my seasonings. Totally unrelated.
You may go home with some.
No, he has
No.
some already.
So
some that he doesn't have?
no,
You
so
can't have the
so
whole
so
collection.
while you were getting yourself together this morning, Jamal showed
That's
up
an
and we
interesting way of saying
we were
everything out.
and we were talking, and I'm like, wait, come to find out, when Amanda was at one of the local food shows, and I was like, wait, I have some of your dry rubs at the house. And I'm like, I got the French fry one, I got the pork one, I got the beef one, and I couldn't remember the other two. And he's like, oh, what was these two?
stacked.
So yeah,
That's been me selling the rub tubs.
yeah, that's what they were. They came in these little plastic containers.
Yeah.
You're not going to the Daytona 500, but you are getting some really good seasoning.
I am.
There you go. So, I mean, there's that. I definitely needed to mention that. But going back to the game, not the Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. No, don't pick up on that. Don't pick up on that. I am very, very distracting influence.
Who do you got? Who do you think? What's going on?
Jesus, I could flip a coin. I think all the numbers and all the analytics say San Francisco, but everybody's heart says the
Okay.
Chiefs, because they just have speed. But all the analytics back up San Francisco.
Sammy Watkins,
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
With those four guys, they throw up over 500 yards of offense per game.
I understand all of that. It's just,
All right.
I was
you look
watching.
at San Francisco, George Kittle, who is the number 2 tight end,
Yeah.
with Kelce being the first tight end in the league. And then you got Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
That's their offense right there. And then they have their defense is where it shines. Their front four defense reminds you of another front four defense that played in the 70s that wore black and gold. They just suck up the line. They're quick. They're fast. They get through. They get to the quarterback. But now they have a quarterback that can run and is mobile and can move and has 35-yard touchdown runs.
Yeah, but it's not even that. He just has a cannon for an arm.
That too.
I think that's the only reason they're like a 1.5 point favorite, because it's just like. Yeah, sorry. You're not boring me.
No, we are.
That's literally the entrepreneur life.
Understood.
Yeah, my body's just like.
It's like the bartender life too.
Just a little back to like we do Uber Eats like late at night, make extra cash while we're listening to like podcasts or find like our skill set, and then making it to like.
I know one guy in this room is happy to hear about Uber Eats, other than you two. Yeah.
I'm a Lyft guy, thank you very much.
I would do more Lyft if they had.
No.
Oh wait, is Lyft Eats a thing?
No.
It's a running.
I was gonna say
it's a running joke.
Marketing department, because I'm a fatty. I didn't know that.
Lyft should do something. Definitely,
They should.
It's a running joke. Jerry works for Uber.
Well, we do just the eat side because we don't like having people in our car because sandwiches don't throw up.
I've run Uber Eats myself.
Yeah.
Sandwiches also don't go, man, your car is filthy.
Right?
Shut up, sandwich.
I'm like, it's your fault, sandwich.
Are you reading
That's
my
you down
thoughts?
there.
Right. The only problem with Uber Eats though is after you've done your night of Uber Eats runs, the next morning you wake up like, shit, I gotta go run here real quick, and you get in your car like, Italian hoagie.
It's not as bad as when a passenger leaves wontons under your front seat for a week.
Damn.
My girlfriend's like, your car smells funny. I'm like, well, someone dropped some wontons like a week ago, but I got them all.
She's like,
and she's like, are you sure you got them all? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, did you look under the seat? I'm like, no. And I found like 5 more wontons. And it was in like June.
She got in. She's like, it smells like the coronavirus. What is this?
It smells like kimchi in here. I was like, no, that's just like fermented regular
speaking
cabbage.
of coronavirus, we have to fight against the coronavirus. So I think we need some more beer.
Yes.
Which open up whichever one you want, or if you want to open up that Inner Groove can, it's been.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, because it should be the right temperature.
That's what coronavirus actually attacks your inner groove. So you need to strengthen the inner groove by drinking some Inner Groove.
Ooh, I like that.
Uh-oh.
That's fancy.
All right, Jamal. So, Dennis has opened up this Inner Groove Stout. This is the big boy. This is the big boy. That's the Crowler from Inner Groove, the 32-ounce.
He got some weight to it.
He slides over. He's like a thief in the night.
We got people rushing the stage here.
Uber compatriot.
Right.
Yeah, could you Uber Eats me some of that?
Yeah.
Well, it's like an extra $10.
Right, yeah.
Which is so pricey.
It is.
On the opposite end,
God.
I tried to order a sandwich from DeBella's. I ordered 2 sandwiches, and it was $45. I immediately exited the app and uninstalled it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is insane.
It's so bougie. And I die a little bit every time I have to call support. Yeah, Uber Eats. No, but everything but support is okay. Just
So back on to the Super Bowl here.
yes.
Who you liking? Who you liking? You're going KC. Are you taking the points in the over under, or are you going?
I don't know. Like, see, my head is telling me you got to take San Fran. But Pat Mahomes is like John Elway, but a superhero John Elway. So it's like, I don't know. Like,
Well, apparently this morning on NFL Countdown, they Magic Johnson allowed Patrick Mahomes to use the term Showtime. So we have that.
First of all, I didn't know he owned Showtime. Second of all,
Showtime owns Showtime.
Yeah. Second of all, Magic Johnson got HIV during the Showtime years. I wouldn't bring that out of the. Pat Mahomes should be like, no.
That's a
I'm
whole
good.
different topic, because right now Magic Johnson shows no signs of HIV in his body whatsoever. That just says that money says, hey, guess what? We can
Money
make this
saves
go
you,
away.
yeah.
But in the meantime,
Money gets you the phone call to scientists.
So how about prop bets? Prop bets is always good. Prop bets we have going on. Of course, the fun one is the coin toss, the over under. On the coin toss is equal. It's 50-50, heads or tails. But the worst part is because it's gambling. You got to lay 110 to win 100. So you're laying
I
one.
don't know what any of this means.
Right? Gambling talk is so stupid.
is,
Now
like,
that you guys are legal,
To
can you
me,
like
it's
talk normal
equivalent,
about it?
like being a carny. Like
No,
you
I know.
just have
No,
own.
it's like
your
a
own
drug deal.
language.
It's like you got to know all the lingo. Like now that it's legal, I just want to walk in. I just want to walk into the state store and be like, I would like some marijuana to smoke. I don't need to know all the slang anymore because it's legal now.
Yeah, right.
You know,
So
If you
basically,
can
Matt,
gamble, you can run your
I
own
want to
drug
give you
empire.
money, and I want you to give me my money back plus more money because I think my team is going to win. By points, not some weird spread that I don't understand. Like I didn't fail out of math class so I could suck at gambling someday.
Well, the spread's just there to entice you to bet.
the spread's just there to entice you. But what it is, basically, Matt, what it is the for the coin toss, you have heads or tails.
Yeah.
And how bookies make
I know how a coin toss works.
Right.
thank you.
But how the bookies make money and how the casinos make money is that you have to lay $110 to bet tails. If you win 100.
I get that.
All right. So
But where
if
you lose me is
lose,
when you
lost
talk
100.
about laying points and teasers and like.
Listen, all
can
you
we
have
just
to
go
know-
throw some cards at that wall over there and like
All you have to know, it's like if you're playing basketball against your younger brother and, you're like, let's play, and you spot him some points, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, well, I don't want to play. You're just going to beat me. All right,
What if your
well,
younger brother's
I'll give
taller
you-
than you?
Yeah, you get like a handicap or
Then
something.
he spots me
That's
points.
basically all it is. All right, fine. We'll play to 11. I'll give you 5 points.
Well, that's like
That's
when,
basically
that's like
the
when I
point
play.
spread.
That's why,
I'm giving 5.
well, that's why when I
You're
play
getting
5
5.
golf and you have a handicap. You have your handicap
right.
and you get spotted. You get spotted strokes.
My handicap is the clubs.
Yeah, but then we get into golf. I love it.
You know what? I
But
play
the
I
easiest
play
way
golf
to
with Matt a couple times a year. He's not
That was
wrong, but
actually
he's
pretty
not
good.
right
That
either
was good.
because you know what? He actually plays pretty decent for a guy that plays. What'd you play last year? 4 times? Once when we played.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I thought we were still talking about the club. I was like,
Yeah. The
How many
clubs.
times? 4 times? Struck out? I don't know.
Yeah.
Golf clubs.
The golf club.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant the actual club.
No, the actual club's not a handicap. It's
that's-
an enhancement.
That's what I thought the joke was. He was like, my handicap
Aw,
is the
man.
club. I was like, oh.
No, not that one. No. We don't do clubs anymore
Nah.
like that. We're too old for that shit.
For yourself, man.
But the easiest, I think the best basketball analogy is the easiest way to explain to somebody, except for the half points, because that's just to avoid ties.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
that.
The half
I
points
get
are to
that,
avoid ties.
Yeah.
You're just basically playing with your little brother. You're just like, hey, he doesn't want to play, but to get him to play, you're like, oh, well, we'll play to 11. He thinks you're going to beat the crap out of him. All right, fine. I will give you 8 points. And then somehow I still managed to beat you.
Right.
Even spotting 8 points.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah,
That's how it works. So right now we're looking at some of the prop bets that are available. Of course, heads or tails. Of course, they do the over/under length time of the national anthem.
Again, that's highly riggable. I don't know why you're allowed to bet on
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bet.
I
on
would-
It
that.
all
I would-
started
no idea
because
that
of
was
Whitney Houston.
I would go every bookie I know, and I would
I
be
guess
like,
we're going to go off on this team.
how long do you want me to go? Like
I will
I
open
will do like a full Christina Aguilera, like I'll take that shit.
It
for
all
4
started
minutes.
because of Whitney Houston at the 1992 Super Bowl with the Giants and Bills, and that was during Desert Storm. And they had the helicopters flying around, and she did this rendition that is still to this day considered the best national anthem rendition ever.
I'll give
but
you
it was
minus
long
110 that
and
no one
drawn
ever
out.
beats it.
I give you that. I'll take it.
So you
Okay.
literally just bet on anything. Like, is it
I'm
So
pulling it up.
they have
you
the
can bet if
so-
a titty's going to pop out. Like,
Yeah, there's a chance for a wardrobe malfunction. It is listed as a wardrobe malfunction. You can bet on that.
Well,
You can.
I have the sports book up, so
You can also bet on the Gatorade color. So like the purple Gatorade, blue
Yeah.
Gatorade, yellow Gatorade, green Gatorade.
Again, that's way too easy to rig. Why do they let people bet on something that, like, I mean, if an equipment manager, no offense to anyone here, but if an equipment manager can deflate footballs,
Yeah.
then they can also rig a Gatorade bet.
Well, I'm not trying to say which team I root for, but I believe
I'm not saying the Jets did anything
I
bad.
know. I'm just saying that I think that thing with the deflated footballs is kind of bullshit. But
Hey, I hear you.
not saying I'm rooting for any specific team. I just the credibility of that investigation was dubious.
Well,
at
I'm
best.
still just jealous that Tom Brady can just intentionally break his cell phone and like not be like any lighter in the pocket for it.
I think he was suspended 4 games, but
Well,
Yeah.
he was, but I mean,
It's a drop.
he didn't have to
And
like.
that's why Jimmy
he
G
didn't
has
have to like call
has a
T-Mobile
spot
and
where
like
he's at
lie
now.
about what happened to his phone.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have to like report it stolen when
I
he
know.
really just.
well, he's not the breadwinner. That's the most ridiculous thing is. If you ever familiar with Eddie Murphy's stand-up, I mean, where he's making fun of what is it, Ed McMahon, or Johnny Carson, who got divorced, or like he's like the woman's like working at a boutique, and it's like he has $350 million and $300 from her. Tom Brady is the guy that has we have $300 more because Gisele Bundchen makes like 10 times more than he does.
That's insane
a
to
year.
think about.
Right?
Like
It is.
his is the other money.
That's dirty.
Dirty
money.
She's like, no, we're not spending that money this year.
Well, there's some players that played for the Steelers that I just shake my head that I'm like, how are they still married? I know what they do, and I know their wives make more than they do.
Right.
Like, I'm just like, really? So they put up with that? And they, I don't know. I don't ask questions. It's safer
Well,
sometimes.
probably at that point, it's tough for them to even find someone similar, like on their level. Like if they're outperforming what pro football players make,
That's true. It does suck dating
Like, at a
someone who
certain
makes
point,
less money than you.
what are you going to do?
Yeah. But I'm betting Tom Brady doesn't even get to make the Netflix password, She's like, no. She lays down the law.
I got to name the Wi-Fi at the house. Amanda's got the password covered. Okay,
There you go.
so there it is.
It's whoever makes the most money.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just-
Comes down.
yeah.
It comes down to it.
Oh, as entrepreneurs, it's definitely not us.
No. Oh, my God, no.
I said if it wasn't for
Oh, my
the
God.
wife still working her full-time job, I would have died of scurvy like months ago. Like without a doubt, diseases that were outlawed, like it got rid of in the 1400s. Like literally, I went almost a year without health insurance. And I was like, oh yeah, these are I was like eating Flintstone vitamins every day. I was like, I can't die.
I popped a Wilma.
Dude,
I'm
it's so easy to
good.
get sick.
We are Flintstone, man.
Like, you can get a paper cut, and all of a sudden
We're
it's
no
an
longer
infection.
growing.
right?
I just
I
in
know. Okay.
in the kitchen popping a Wilma.
Yeah. Dennis always tries to be like, hey, if we were roommates, and it's real bad. It's like
you
medieval.
both would be dead.
Dude, we would.
Well, no, because he has the food, and I researched a study done in Japan on the antibacterial properties of over hot beers. So we can just drink a lot of hoppy beers, and you make a lot of good food, and then hopefully we don't die.
We wouldn't die, but the house would just be insane. It would definitely be a sad boy house. It would definitely be a sad boy house.
No company.
yeah.
No company over
No.
there.
It'd be probably something you see on like an episode of like Miami Vice where they go get like the snitch, not like the drug dealers, but
They're
like their
like,
Is
Is that a dead hooker?
Yeah.
No, she's alive. She just
Yeah.
had a tough time.
Yeah, she got epilepsy. She'll be all right.
Just step over.
For some reason, we always have this chandelier.
Hey, I
No,
gotta ask.
this is the only downfall doing a live show.
Hey, can I be the guy on the couch? Okay,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, they're just like, who is this guy?
You are for sure the guy on the couch.
I'll be the guy on the couch. I'll be good.
Whoever
know,
passes
listen.
out first gets to be the guy on the couch.
Yeah. Dennis and I have
Whoever
looked
fishes
at the
their
horrible
NyQuil
status of us living together, and it's like we would definitely die of something from like the Little House on the Prairie days, where you just get a scratch and it's just like, oh well, I'm gone, I'm done.
We hire a local doctor. He comes over. He's like, well, he obviously got ghosts in the blood. Do cocaine about it. Like,
With the little,
my
with the
God.
little like, I love when the doctors come and they have like the little bag,
Yeah, what is in that little
the
bag?
little house call bag,
What's in the bag?
an even smaller
Morphine.
doctor.
lots of morphine,
I recommend leeches.
morphine in a sauce.
That's our health care.
Like leeches.
Leeches. Oh my God.
So for those of us that care a little bit about these things, the Penguins are 2-1 over top of the Washington Capitals right now.
Oh, that's good.
At the end of the
Good.
first period,
well
and
as
then
they should.
also Pitt basketball. They're playing currently right now, and last I saw at halftime they were up. I'm
right.
not sure.
It's
Well,
41.
I
It's
do have to
41-40.
disclose-
41-40.
right
They're
now
so
with 11
close.
minutes about to go in the
11
the
minutes
game.
in the second
And
half.
it's on the ACC network,
So
so,
we can
get
even watch
away
it.
from the TV and go sit in front of a computer and watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Actually, you can even watch it on a computer.
You can watch it on your phone.
I've
You
tried.
just
It
can't
told
watch it
me-
on.
Listen, I
on
wish
You
the
can do anything with
$170
Cody
cable
app.
bill. Like, no.
I wish Pitt basketball the very best because I hope to do business with the University of Pittsburgh.
But you're from Connecticut,
And
you're best
UConn.
friends with
Well,
Scotty Reynolds.
UConn, all the way.
Oh, you.
You're not a big basketball
Oh
fan.
no, I hide that very well.
You do hide it very well.
I'm not an NBA fan, but if you,
I love college basketball. more
Yeah.
than
No,
NBA.
college is awesome.
all right,
College
yeah.
basketball is way
Such-
better than
There-
NBA basketball all day long. It's a real game. They've set plays. It's not like walk, pass, travel, dribble, pass,
All right.
travel.
No,
dunk.
no, no.
called a
First of
Euro
all-
step.
First of all, it's shoot an unnecessary three. Like, oh, you're down 2 points. I'm going to shoot a 40-foot three-pointer. Welcome to the NBA.
Hey, Steph Curry, what's going
But
on?
I'm just saying, college basketball. I don't have many things that I'm just an irrational fan about. Like,
That's not true.
come on, man.
You're super irrational.
I-
just like human.
Jesus Christ. Are we really going there? Fine. Of the things that I'm irrational about, college basketball is one thing where, like, it doesn't matter. The whole basketball team could, like, be out sick with food poisoning. I'm just like, that equipment manager is about to drop 50 on you motherfuckers. Like, oh my God, yes. He's got it. But, like, the NFL, I'm not like that. NBA, I'm not like that. MLB. Hockey, hockey's tough because I started out a Whalers fan and then they ripped my heart out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get into the Pens, but I am not as rabid as when it was a Whalers fan. I mean, there's
So
nothing.
you remember guys like Zarli Zalapsky?
It's a little bit like I remember what's his name who was on the Whalers and then went to the Pens. I forget.
Zarli Zalapsky.
You just
Ron
put your whole
Francis.
face on the
Ron
mic.
Francis.
Ron Francis is what I'm talking. I remember Ron Francis, because it's like when I was going to games, Kevin Deneen and those guys,
Right.
When you walk into a mall and then you walk a little bit lower and it's a hockey rink, which not a food court, but it's a hockey rink.
Right.
Some people
happens.
just don't have that experience where it's like, oh, there's mall. Oh, we're just gonna walk down. Oh, it's a hockey rink. Oh, ooh,
So
fancy. This is so
Bougie.
fancy.
So at this point right now, I need you guys. Dennis, we're gonna start with you.
Yeah.
You need to go who you like for the game. Pick a prop bet that you think may happen.
I got
Jamal will help
some
you
of
out with a
them.
prop
I got
bet.
some of them.
Yeah.
You know,
prop bet.
Give
me
pick a
some
prop
options.
bet.
I need an A, B, and C.
Yeah, and then
There's
also
anything you could have. There's anytime scorers. Sorry for interrupting. There's game MVP, but you're not going to know the players, so you're probably going to pick Voldemort or.
all right.
That's
And
not
then
totally accurate.
also in your
Patriots aren't in the game though.
Actually,
in your
whoever.
first-
No, wait.
Voldemort was in the
I
Gronk
forget
party.
who's Alan Rickman's character. Because rest in
That's
peace,
Snape.
Snape. Okay, you pick
yeah.
Snape as the MVP.
He
So-
died way too young.
So do you have
Spoiler.
something in your box there?
I do.
So,
well, I
okay.
gave you the pint glass.
Right. Thank you.
Way to
Meantime-
talk dirty. He's like, do you have anything in your box?
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, what's in
actually,
your box
if you
there?
remember Lonely
What's in
Island,
your box?
To the box. To the box.
To the box!
So go ahead and pick who you think's gonna win the game.
Yes.
Show us what you have going on in the First Sip Brew Box and likes that people can order from your website. Tell us where we can find you on the interwebs and all that good stuff.
So that I can do. So who I am rooting for is definitely Kansas City, but not because of any, arbitrary reason. It's just, so what was the last Super Bowl they won? The 70s? I know-
No, the second Super Bowl.
Second Super Bowl.
52 Super Bowls ago.
Yes.
Shit. So to
about
me,
due.
if I'm not emotionally invested in that team like I am with the Steelers, things like that is what I look at. I'm like, I just want them to win because it's been so long and they deserve it. Like 52 Super Bowls ago.
Yeah.
That is fucking insane.
They
I
were-
haven't even been alive for 52. So who has? Who's been alive for 52?
No one in this room.
Yeah, no one in this room. Like, so no one can remember a KC win.
No.
So that's why I'm rooting for. So what we have in the first, I feel like a QVC commercial. So what we have in the First Sip Brew Box today, number one, you can find us at firstsipbrewbox.com. So inside of here, we actually, so we partner with breweries all over the country. So this one, we actually have some Sly Fox, which I thought they did really nice koozies.
Those are
which We'll
cool.
be giving these out today to some of you guys back there as well. And unique things made out of beer. We actually have some lotion made out of a stout beer, which is super
the
cool.
lotion on its skin.
So really unique stuff like that. And then the same a company from Denver, Colorado, Robber's Roost. He does a craft beer Irish red beer hot sauce, which is super tasty.
I'm not jealous at all.
I
We do
understand.
barbecue sauces and dry rubs, not hot sauces. And
I can break.
Oh, wait.
I actually put in our fresh.
What will people do for a
tea.
free T-shirt? Anything.
Yeah, that is true. It's like that's like a family.
Hey,
Guy
I ruined
saying.
my credit.
For a free T-shirt. I've gotten $20 off opening up a Best Buy credit card multiple times. So different things that we do, right? So we obviously work with breweries around the country, but sometimes some of those small breweries, they can't afford, to say, hey, Dennis, here's 150 shirts and pint glasses and stickers. It's too expensive for those small breweries. So we had to become creative over the years and work with, like nonprofit companies like Laurel Highlands Pour Tour, which is a subsegment of the Laurel Highlands Tourism Bureau.
Okay.
So they created their own pour tour to drive traffic into breweries. So I'm like, hey, you guys have money, but some of the small breweries don't. So you'll sponsor a project that drives traffic and people into your area, which is an easier way for you guys to do your job. So that's kind of a back way for us to get into working with a lot of small breweries that couldn't afford, to come up with merchandise for 150, 200 subscribers, which we can't afford to sponsor as projects because then we're making negative money, which means I'm definitely getting the bubonic plague. There's no way around that.
We can't have that happen.
So this is the latest T-shirt that we did. My wife, Sammy, she's the creative. She actually drew, designed, digitized everything with that shirt. And then we work with local businesses to get things printed. All of our branded material, we use local T-shirt shops, local print shops, everything we try to drive revenue back into our local economy here in Pittsburgh. So that's kind of what we do at First Sip Brewbox and all of our handles. Check us out, subscribe, cancel anytime you want. Super flexible.
That's awesome. So you're First Sip Brewbox on the Facebook, at First Sip Brewbox on the Twitter. I watch you guys when you do your little live YouTubes on the Daily Sip.
Yes.
Which is also at First Sip Brewbox.
Yep.
And I talked to you when I was like, how'd you get everything? You're like, it was open.
It was open and we
it
just
makes
did
it
it.
super easy. It's all
Even
over.
if we weren't using those platforms, we scooped the handles.
That's awesome.
And that's what you got, that's what you got to do.
That's great.
That's what you got to do, man. And we're really, so if any of you guys out there looking to start your own business, your own company, check out Gary V, which he's been,
Amanda's
one of
a
my
huge fan of Gary
mentors.
V.
I love
So
everything.
Sorg.
I love everything Gary V does. And we read his 200-page pitch deck. And about 3 months ago when it came out on Gary V's birthday, we put it into practice. And it's exponentially changed our company to where we're no longer a craft beer subscription box company. We have slowly evolved over this past 6 months to being a craft beer media platform that happens to have a subscription box as a vehicle to uniquely get out information and products for beer companies. First Sip Brew Box.
First Sip Brewbox,
.com.
check it out. And you guys, and you have a tiered platform for, so nobody has
we
to
got
jump in
something
and
for
spend $100. Somebody come in and spend as little as $25, right?
Yep. We have 3 tiers, $25, $49, $59.
That's awesome.
Like,
That's
so we
a
got
great
something for
tier.
everybody.
And it's good for birthdays, anniversaries, any event people are getting married. Buy it for your
Absolutely.
groomsmen, stuff like that.
We do corporate gifts as well.
Corporate gifts?
Where we would do, for example, a Pittsburgh themed box. So we worked with Remax, which is a real estate agency, and every house that a couple of their local guys, Mark down in Robinson and Swickley, he does a really good job. Every house that his team sells, he has 30 people on his team. We automatically just send a brew box out to that house, which is super cool. It's easier for them. It's great for us. And we just send it straight out to that new home buyer, thanking them for using their service.
That's great. That's awesome. Now, Jamal, my man, you are doing some things with the rubs, with the sauces.
This sounds naughty.
I
but
like it. I like it.
I'm doing new things.
You're doing some nouns and adjectives.
you rub meat with tenderness and love.
But I don't make eye contact.
but-
I rub it, but I don't make eye contact. I want that to be known.
All right, so Jamal, tell us. You have a couple of different lines you got going on. You got Uncle Jammy's, which is what you have featured here today with us.
Exactly.
And then also tell us where we can find you on the interwebs.
For right now, what we have. Well, let's go through a couple things. It's going to be a little confusing. The parent company is the Smokey Cities 412 Barbecue. Smokey with an EY. Cities Possessive 412 BBQ. That is the parent company. That's what I started out under before I split the brands. A little bit of a trademark thing going on. It kind of had something to do with the Shop 412 guys. I didn't receive a letter or anything, but I got throughout all the successful help that I got, which myself and Dennis, he didn't get to mention it, but Pittsburgh has been so great. We've gotten so many different good resources to help us with small businesses. There's so many resources out there, and we were able to get stuff like that. So because of their advice, they told me to split the brands off because I got the trademark on 412 BBQ for opening a restaurant,
Right.
which is what changed my whole direction. So the parent company is 412, the Smokey Cities 412 Barbecue. At some point, the catering, I'm going to be working under 412 BBQ because I do have permission to do that. And then, so I'm trying to get it, and we rebranded the sauces under the Uncle Jammy's brand, which I haven't told anybody, and I haven't even told Dennis, but I got the trademark for that.
Good stuff.
About a month and a half ago. But I got bombarded, so we live 2 doors down, but Dennis has been busy doing stuff, so I didn't even mention it. Like it hit the back burner because so much stuff is happening.
The difference between Dennis and I is he works 1 million hours for himself. I work 1 million hours for somebody else.
Hey, and not just one somebody else.
I know.
So many
Different masters.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Understood. So we have a couple different rubs. We got some sauces.
Yeah.
We got spicy. We got sweet. We got
We
mild.
we have you covered.
Is that Area 51 on the end?
No, I didn't bring
Area
it.
51?
Okay. All right.
Area
He's
51?
asking about Area 51, which is the first proprietary sauce I ever made, which is different than. I don't want to patronize anybody, but basically the just difference is it's the first sauce that I actually sat down and actually wrote out all the ingredients myself. There's no other add worse stuff. Yeah, it's basically me. I broke it down over many iterations, over many years since 2005. I made it. And I decided to I beta tested it with little people, Dennis, of course, and then some customers. They loved it.
It saved Thanksgiving one year. These
good.
father-in-law made wings, burnt them, used Area 51, which is a tequila and avocado-based sauce.
Avocado, jalapeno, and tequila are the base.
That's awesome.
And then over the years, I figured everything else out. Like I was just looking at the first recipe, and there was so much stuff in there. There was like food dye. It was like Alfredo sauce. In addition to all the other stuff, I was just
Alfredo sauce.
yeah.
Jesus.
It was well. I was trying to make.
But not to go down that rabbit hole. Where can if someone wanted to buy some of your
All right.
sauces and dry rubs, where would they go?
The sauces and dry rubs are UncleJammys.com are available online, but in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. No, I'm going crazy. We have Whole Foods South Hills, Whole Foods Wexford,
Awesome.
which carry a limited selection. If you don't want to support, if you want to go more local, I don't want to say don't support.
Hey, I
but if you
support
want to go
Whole Foods a lot more for their beer.
more local. Tom Friday's Meat Market has
Tom Friday's Meat Market is awesome over on California Avenue in Brighton Heights.
Brighton Heights. He has a more updated selection. He has Tom Friday's took on the #1 sellers of everything. So he has Whole Foods has the first 6 products I have, which is Smokey, Golden,
and Tom
Cajun.
Friday's got everything.
Tom Friday's has the #1 seller, so it's Your Arrogance Amuses Me, which is the Stone Brewery that Dennis started talking about, which is the second thing we formulated, and he actually likes that. Very popular, spicy.
Really spicy.
Your Arrogance
No
Amuses
joke.
Me. It's got Smoky Barbecue, which is the #1 seller for me, and then it's got Hooray for IPA, which is the other story we didn't get to finish, but it's okay.
We get off topic.
Yeah, we do, but that's okay. That's my life. That's how I live. Off topic.
Started a brand clothing store.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
called Off Topic.
Yes. And then I had the four. What's on camera is the 4 top selling rubs: River City, Garlic Lovin', Gold Dust, and What a Wonderful Wing Rub, which is a spicy, almost buffalo. It's got like a buffalo dip feel, buffalo kind of. But it's also buttery.
That's awesome.
As well as spicy.
I like it.
Very popular. It's tied with Gold Dust for number 2 behind River City Rub. The top 2 products are River City Rub and Smokey Barbecue, just because they're both mild and very likable. You can also Janoski's Farm in Clinton. They're about to redo the whole selection. We're gonna update them with the top sellers. We're gonna get some of the slower movers out, and
Well, it's social medias.
social media. I like how he's coaching me. I'm like a kid.
That's good. That's good.
I'm like a kid at a play who's forgot his line.
It's kind of like I do a podcast.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm just a kid in the play that's just like frozen the lights and forgot his line. He's like, and social media.
But you're really lovable, so like
Yeah.
they're like, okay,
Exactly.
we'll
Like,
keep watching.
All right, Uncle Jammy's, JAMMYS PGH. I got it across the board, but I didn't get Uncle Jammy's across the board. Some joker has it out in like the Midwest or something. But Uncle Jimmy's PGH is across the board for everything. So we're talking Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, which I don't know how to use yet because
We'll work on that.
yeah,
with you.
we're gonna work on that.
We'll work on that with you.
YouTube, I'm gonna start at some point. I will start having videos.
Well, you
and
can
stuff.
share this
Yeah.
video on your YouTube.
Right, definitely. You can share this on the YouTube.
Yeah.
You can share this wherever you need
Yeah,
to.
I'm gonna get that. The Instagram's gonna change because Dennis actually helped me realize I have to learn.
Instagram's the one I really don't know. I mean, that
Yeah.
handles that.
Yeah, my wife handles
I learned
Yeah, his
Facebook
wife
and
just-
I learned Twitter, and those are the two I'm proficient at.
Yeah.
Instagram, I don't take that many. I take pictures, but not that people want to see. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Like bathroom pictures? Like what
we'll
pictures?
just leave it at I take pictures that people don't want to see.
You could start a Stella
Shut up, you
Instagram and
guys.
I would follow it.
Yeah, so we got that. Now, for 412 Barbecue, which is going to be the catering arm, 412 BBQ for all the social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat is the 412 BBQ because they don't let you start
Awesome.
with numbers. But once again, everything has everything across the board, like Dennis, like Pinterest.
That's awesome.
LinkedIn.
That's great that you were able to make that happen as well. Like,
Yeah.
because with Bold Pittsburgh, we have Bold PGH, we have Bold Pittsburgh, we have Bold
Exactly.
PGH Sports. I mean, so not and
Yeah.
so forth. But
And now we're going to. I'm making changes. I haven't posted in a while, which Sammy and Dennis both get on me, but I'm trying.
That Gary Vee, man, you gotta do it, baby.
yeah, you gotta get
Well,
in
I'm
there.
trying to. It's difficult because I'm trying to change the whole look because I've actually learned from the competitors, which is Dennis was like, you just got to look at the competitors. So I did, and I got to get back into making food and like taking pictures. Like, so it's a little bit more difficult for me because there's a little bit more. There's got to be a little bit more coordination with my social media. If I want to capture, I can't just randomly post something. I mean, 10% of the time I have to randomly post something, but a lot, like King's Hawaiian is a very good example. Their branding is always in all their pictures, but it looks organic, and that takes time and coordination.
Right.
And I don't want to seem anything but organic with, the people, I have, because I mean that's the one thing I have. It's just what people say is I'm just kind of down to earth.
Awesome.
I'm kind of.
But with you guys, like, so when we share this on our social media, how can our platform find more about you, what you guys do?
So basically, with us, you can find Matt and I at Bold PGH Sports on Twitter. You can get us on Facebook. We're underneath the Bold Pittsburgh blanket.
Okay. But you also have Bold Sports.
Bold Sports is Twitter only.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
That's why I was a little
Bold
confused.
Sports
Okay, so
is
that's Twitter.
It's at Bold PGH Sports is Twitter only. On Facebook, we're Bold Pittsburgh. On Instagram, we're Bold PGH. And then, or is it Bold Pittsburgh on Facebook? It's Bold Pittsburgh on Instagram.
Always look at the
Also,
wife.
you can find us underneath the Sorgatron Media head there for the podcast, as well as Sorg has split us off onto our own, which is Bold Pittsburgh Sports for the podcast itself for Matt and I to listen to our wonderful voices talk about sports and what we love and don't love and love to get on people about. Because Matt and I record late at night. We usually record about midnight till like 2 in the morning.
Oh, damn.
Because both
Perfect
our
drinking time.
exactly because both our jobs keep us up late. So we
It's a good
record.
time for drinking and just being over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah. So we get some drinks in us, and we're kind of over our day, and then we get to bitch about sports or what we love about it, and we focus mostly on local stuff. Of course, we had some national things that go on.
Yeah.
That
sometimes you can't.
You
help
have
it.
to. I mean, with
Yeah.
the Major League Baseball scandal that went on with the stealing signs, and also rest in peace Kobe Bryant and the
Right.
8 other people that passed away in that horrific helicopter crash, including his daughter Gianna. It's one of those ones that I'm going to be a minute to get over. I mean,
Right.
I don't go crazy over celebrity deaths a lot. This is only the second one that has really hit me.
Right.
The first one was
I mean,
Anthony Bourdain.
such a big
but
impact on our childhood.
such a big. I
you
mean,
know?
Wait,
yeah.
hold up, stop.
Oh, here we go.
No feelings for Prince?
It was a different feeling. It was.
You're gonna have to
Well, to
elaborate.
be fair, he said 2.
I said.
You don't know. That could have been 1.
No.
One of them was Kobe, and he mentioned the other one. Your listening skills are
It
crap.
was Anthony
They are pretty
Bourdain.
bad.
No,
That's my
Anthony
wife.
Bourdain was sucked.
yeah.
Because he was.
Prince sucked. Trust me, Prince sucked.
Prince?
Prince
Prince.
passing away sucked. But in the meantime, no, celebrity deaths really don't hit me that much. Kobe was one of them that did, and it's just because he's my age.
Right.
We watched him from the time I watched him when he played high school basketball at Lower Merion in Eastern Pennsylvania.
That was
Okay?
the coolest I've ever been in my life. Is when I had a Kobe Bryant reflectable holographic binder.
Right.
Like people were like, "That's so cool." I was like,
Right.
"Oh, thank you."
But in the meantime, no, Matt, find us here at Bold Sports. You want to throw out your personal?
Yeah,
Throw it out.
I base so much of my predicting on just what seems right and normal. And it just seems normal to me that Patrick Mahomes is going to win a Super Bowl eventually.
Right.
So why not now?
That's what I like it.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying I don't want to live in a world where Jimmy Garoppolo is the Super Bowl MVP, but it just doesn't seem right to me. Nobody's leading every episode of SportsCenter every Sunday with what Jimmy Garoppolo did. Not saying they're a bad team, the Niners. A lot of people are giving the Niners credit for their running game. It's interesting how much people forget that, Kansas City shut down Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they did.
Okay? They did what they had to do to stop, the most punishing running back that we've seen since, Bettis. So I'm not too worried about the San Francisco offense. I don't think that they can do anything on offense that the Chiefs can't do. I'm looking for a high-scoring game, to be honest.
So am I. I'm looking for a nice high-scoring.
I think the Chiefs are going to win.
That's awesome. I, as well, going to take the Chiefs on this aspect of it. I like the high-flying offense that they have with Mahomes, with Tyreek Hill, with Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. If you watched his brother's Super Bowl speech when he dressed as a mummer, his brother is a lineman for the Eagles whenever they beat the Patriots. I cannot wait to see what Travis Kelce does. He likes to party. So, at the end of the AFC Championship game, he was quoting the Beastie Boys to go out and get it done.
Damn.
Like I said, not that I wouldn't hate if the Niners won. I would just prefer if they didn't. So in that aspect, Matt and I will be back to record. Unfortunately, not live because Sorg has to sleep sometime. And Tuesday's a big day for Sorg, which is when Matt and I usually record. You don't want to be in the studio till 4 a.m., Sorg. I know you don't.
No.
But so Matt and I will be back probably Tuesday night to record, and we'll recap the Super Bowl. We'll recap what prop bets came in and hit, also as well as other Pittsburgh sports. We're coming up on Riverhound season, folks, for your local soccer team, Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the USL. Don't forget baseball pitchers and catchers report in 10 days. 15 days actually. They report right before my birthday. So also, speaking of birthdays, I want to send a shout-out birthday to my son, Tyler, who turned 24 today.
What?
On this, what's this? parallelogram.
I believe it's palindrome.
Palindrome, yes.
I don't really.
Yeah,
care about
02
that.
02 2020. Yeah. So congratulations to my son turning 24. No one has killed him yet. He hasn't taken himself out.
Nice.
Happy birthday to Tyler out there. I know it's so bad.
I know.
You know, hey, my family still has bets on why I'm still alive. Okay, so you know what? I mean, there's a
You guys
poll.
are betters to your core, man.
We're Irish. Come on.
Have a fun team.
Yeah. But in the
wanna
meantime, folks,
congratulate-
thank you for joining us here at Bold Sports' third annual live Super Bowl show. Matt and I are happy to bring friends of ours. We have Dennis over here with the First Sip Brew Box.
Oh,
we have
yeah.
Jamal with the 412 Barbecue, as well as what's that? Uncle Jammy's, right? We're doing Uncle Jammy's with the sauce and the rubs. We want to thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for bringing some brews. We brought some
Absolutely, yeah.
brews.
Really appreciate it. Last
thank
shout
you.
out to Intergroove Brewing in
Intergroove
Verona,
Brewery, thank you
Couch
very
Brewery in Larimer, which is East Pittsburgh, and then one final shout out to Leaning Cask, which they did hook us up with a lot of their like porters and some of their really good tasting beers. Leaning Cask out in Springdale, Pennsylvania.
That's awesome.
And congratulations to Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend, because he's gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's
She's gonna be in a new.
That's a prop bet. That's a
yeah.
prop bet. Is how crazy she's gonna go, win or lose.
Look,
Oh,
man,
when
like
she
a
wins,
bunch of
she's gonna
Steeler
get a new
fans.
credit line. That he's getting that huge contract if they win. I mean, he's getting it no matter what, but it's going to be pretty huge.
It's
Like,
gonna be.
a bunch of Steeler fans. I'm sorry, like we cannot criticize somebody for getting emotional over football
I know, right? We can't.
in this city.
We can't.
okay?
Well, she did it one time as just normal, and that she thought was normal, and then people made fun of her for it. So then she's done it after every game
I didn't
since,
have
just
social
to be
media.
over the top.
I didn't have
Yeah.
social media back in like 2005 when the Steelers, made the Super Bowl. But like, did I get a little tipsy and maybe cry a little bit? Maybe.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't
was
post
awesome.
it on Instagram.
It was awesome.
I
well,
just
if
wanted
you
to
didn't,
ka-ching.
I would judge you. So
All right, folks.
I wasn't dating anyone on the team, so there was really it wasn't newsworthy.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us here at Bold Sports' third annual live Super Bowl show. Matt and I will be back with episode 113 this week. We want to thank Michael Sorg over here at Sorgatron Media Studios in Beachview for handling this for us, as well as we want to thank Dennis over here from First Sip Brew Box and Jamal from at 412 Barbecue. All right. Thank you, folks. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy it. Go Chiefs. That's where we're at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. It's a consensus.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you.